Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video. Today we are back looking at another Omnibus, and today we are looking at the Superior Spider-Man, one of my favorite Spider-Man stories, surprisingly. Now I will warn you that I may spoil some of this book, so if you don't want to have any spoilers, I suggest you stop now. Marvel have done this thing again where they've put in a little review down there. The Superior Spider-Man does not need that to sell it at all. This may not be the Spider-Man you grew up with, but oh man, there's just no telling what Slott is going to do next. Now that is an absolutely brilliant statement. Dan Slott was on Spider-Man for a very long time. I'm trying to think when he took over, but it was certainly in the mid-2000s and finished around 2018, I'm gonna say. So actually he was in Forbidden Planet, which is where I got it. He was doing a signing recently about the end of the Spider-Verse. I was going to go to it, but to be fair, I just didn't have the cash. But I would have loved to have gone to that. So, but I'll keep an eye out, and hopefully he'll be back at some point there. So the usual red Marvel Omnibus sign there. Superior Spider-Man. It says Volume 1, so that gives us hope that there is enough material of Doctor Octopus's Superior Spider-Man for a Volume 2. I know that he's had a sort of a second outing, and there's been bits in between where Dr. Otto Octavius has been referred to throughout since this finished, obviously. So there is an opportunity, but this holds that first core story, and it has 33 issues. Sorry, not 33 issues. I'm going to say 36, roughly 36. Sorry, I did my counting wrong. So this collects Amazing Spider-Man, one of the longest running Amazing Spider-Mans ever, 698 to 700. And then Superior Spider-Man starts from 1 to 31. And then we have Spider-Man Annual 1 and 2. Now, I sometimes feel that I'm lucky. I stopped reading as a Brand New Day started. I couldn't deal with the what they did to MJ and Peter. But then I decided probably around 2015, I'm going to say. I decided when I got Marvel Unlimited, I was going to go back and I was going to read them. And then obviously that brought me to here. And I'm glad that I read it like this in one whole epic adventure. And that's what makes this. You can read this book on its own. You don't need to know past stories, etc. So I'm just going to take the dust cover off. Now, unfortunately, I got mine from Forbidden Planet, and there is some damage on the top. And you can clearly see that there as well, which is very disappointing. And there, now they did wrap it up really well, so I was quite confident when I got this, only to be disappointed. So Dan Slott, you got Christo Cage, Giuseppe, I'm sorry Giuseppe, I'm not going to say his second name, and then Humberto Ramos. I'm sure I said that wrong. I hate saying names wrong. And then you got Synthesis this side, which I never ever read, and then underneath, yeah, have this, which is Spider-Man there. So let me just try and get my angles correctly. And as I always say, I keep meaning to invest in a new stand where I can get this over the top of an omnibus. Looks quite nice, but so far I've not actually invested. So this is all the creators, which is normal. And then we begin our story with Otto Octavius dying. And ultimately, he ends up taking over Peter Parker's body. And he creates a business. He has a new relationship. And he sort of becomes a sort of hero. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And like I said, I enjoyed every moment of Otto Octavius being Spider-Man, and his memories are sort of mixed. We see some of his past, and it sort of makes Otto Octavius and even more of a character you can identify. In my mind, I ended up identifying with him by the end of it, etc. And it's brilliant. And don't get me wrong, he's still a sort of villain stroke hero. So he does things a little bit differently. He does think differently, etc. But it was such a good run. I can't remember the ins and outs of this run. That's why I'm probably gonna enjoy reading it again, because I've not read this since I read this probably a couple of years ago now, a good few years ago, probably when I read this. So, but I tell you what, I do remember fondly that I enjoyed it. And then obviously at some point Peter comes back. I won't tell you the how, the why, but he does come back, which was always going to happen eventually, etc. But yeah, it is a phenomenal run. And look, if you've never read this before, it's just a good opportunity just to pick it up and have a go at it. You know, and it's really enjoyable. Some beautiful artwork there. And then at the back, we have some covers. Lots of variant covers, which is nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Reminiscence of 300. Wow, that's early 90s stuff there. Very long time ago. Very cool. So, yeah. So, even now, I've just read Spider-Man Beyond, and Otto Octavius was back in it. And I enjoy him more as a character now than perhaps what I ever did. You know, I mean, there's so many villains, and sometimes, I mean, they do flesh them out a bit, but sometimes they could be just two-dimensional, whereas this gives them more of a four-dimensional dynamic. And then the final annual sort of fits into the Spider-Verse Omnibus, which is interesting because obviously that has Spider-Man in. So Otto Octavius sort of sees his future, that he's not going to be Spider-Man, which I thought was very, very cool. Or he thinks it's so, I can't remember actually. I need in fact, that's on my list to grab very soon. There's Anna Maria, who was Otto Octavius' girlfriend, and actually I enjoyed her. After this run finishes, she still sort of sticks around with Peter, and she learns the truth, etc. And it's actually really, really good to see. You got some letters there. And then you got this. This is really nice. So this is 1/700 every single cover you can conceive of. And there we go. And then it finishes. So yeah, definitely a great book. You know, with 36 issues in it, if I've done my maths correctly, I think that's a nice size omnibus. 40 is the is the perfect omnibus for me. But this has this entire run here. You don't need to go and get a volume 2 if it comes out. That's entirely up to you. You can literally read this run and be finished with it. Or if you're a hardcore Spider fan, you're going to want this in your collection. As far as I'm concerned, this is pivotal moments, pivotal stuff, and like I said, a really, really enjoyable run. One that I'm very, like I said, very fond of, and looking forward to rereading again. So I hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you to those that always subscribe to my channel. Appreciate you guys a great deal. Make sure you look after yourself. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.